against the Patriots win the Super Bowl.
Play clock at 5. Pass is intercepted at the goal line by Malcolm Butler. Toss to White.
He's in! Patriots win the Super Bowl!
Anderson coming off the edge. May steps into it, takes a shot downfield, and caught for the touchdown. Kayshon Boutte. Patriots in field goal range at the moment. Here's one downfield, and caught for the touchdown. Kyle Williams.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome along. Why am I not doing a shuffle on? Welcome, everyone, to PAX across the pond. The secret that we've been holding back for many months now. We finally unveiled what under a brand new banner, we are rebranding under a brand new name, and for the first time, I'm going to say this, DJ, since Frankfurt. We were actually doing a live show, all of us in person. It was incredible. We've got DJ, we've got Kieran, and we have also got new boy Rob on board. Unfortunately, someone's missing. Nicholas, where are you, my friend? Train issues with Nick, so please make sure you get back on this as soon as you can, mate. As far as we're concerned, we're ready to go for the new season and a brand new. It's a new dawn, it's a new era, and guys, it's a new start.
Yeah, really excited to finally get this rebrand and the new era underway. Something we've had up our sleeves since probably midway through last season. So to finally get it over the line and be here in London is really good. Obviously sad that Nick's not with us. Unfortunately fell victim to some transport issues. We had our fair share of transport issues as well. It's not been smooth sailing today at all. I just want to say this out there. It makes me realise how much I hate London, and there's no offence to any Londoners. I actually have a lot of London in my blood, but it has been a right ball ache this afternoon. But we are here, Hippodrome Casino in the Paddy Power Sportsbook, and we are ready for the draft.
Indeed we are. And obviously, currently right now, we also got to speak to Sean Gale as well. He was out doing this thing with the draft and so on. There's a lot of fans out there, mostly us in the group, and then there's a load of Jets fans of all the beautiful people we would have as Jets fans. But there's also Ravens across the pond as well. Tom's right here, and obviously we are now under his network, under his new banner, which we're very excited for what's to come. So what did you make of it?
Yeah, really excited to be here. It's my first time meeting all of you guys, so it's a bit of a crazy experience. We were just talking earlier on that 7 weeks ago, I was first having conversations with you, DJ, and I jumped on the call with you, Kieran, to first have a chat, and less than 2 months later, here we are, at the Hippodrome Casino. It's been an amazing event so far. It's just great to get NFL UK fans together, celebrating the sport and have a chat, get to know different people. Great to meet the across the pond guys as well that we're going to be working with. Sean Gale, having a Super Bowl winner. Amazing event put on by StackBet and Paddy Power. But most of all, just great to be here with you guys. Like you say, London is a nightmare. It's as a northerner, I have no interest whatsoever in spending any time in London. But you guys are giving me a good reason to come down. It's great to be here.
It's absolutely brilliant, mate. We've got a comment here from Dougie, our good friend Dougie. Big up to you, mate. All right, boys, have a good show. I've been quiet recently as I hate all the build up to the draft, and I hate the draft, especially picking late. Yeah, we're picking 31st. there's maybe a very good chance we could be trading back.
Don't say that.
I hope not.
It'll be a long night for us
It's
here.
a
That
long
was
night.
referenced with the stage,
It's like
with
a
the
four,
host
it's like,
here.
it's going to be like a 4:30 by the time we actually get our pick. And of course, Tom's there. And he's got room for VIP guests. Tom, get your fucking ass in here, right now. Okay.
We've just, come through the curtain like stars in your eyes.
Just be very careful. You open the curtain. The laptop is literally sitting in front of you. So please be very careful. Just don't scare us, for Christ's sake. My jump scare, just go, what's that? So anyway, DJ.
Before we move on, I just wanted to give some perspective of how I've envisioned how I wanted to work everything with what you got. A massive thank you for it all.
Hello. Oh, here he is.
Hey! He's up. I don't know if we're going to be able to hear
Nicholas,
him,
thank you. What the hell?
All right.
What the hell happened?
The British transport system happened. That's what happened. It is what it is.
It's a shame you can't be here, mate. It really is.
I would have loved to have been.
But you're technically in your own war room, so you'll be sorting out the draft and so on, and what you've made of it so far. We've also had a couple of shows recently regarding obviously the Patriots mark with trades and no trades as well, and obviously we've had the full 32 round that you was on with us as well. What's your concisest pick at 31, or do you have a suspicious feeling we're trading back?
I've got a feeling that I'm going to stick with how I've been thinking for months, that it's either a tackle or an edge, and it could well be just what's left on the board. So it might be say Caleb Lomu if he's the only tackle left. I know he's got small arms, but if Cassius Howell is the only edge left,
these two names straight off with Lomu and Howell, you're terrifying me, Nick.
I know. The point I think I'm trying to get is I think we are. It goes back to what we said on the pod about if you are giving up the number 1 next year for AJ Brown, supposedly, then you're not going to have that position to pick next year. So you need to cover that off this year. So I think, from my point of view, I think those two positions are probably the ones that are gonna come into play.
Goal line perspective, whether they take the 100 out, how many games that good? Obviously in Kansas. So
I think you are right, Nick, in regard. We're trying to hear you over the top. There's a lot of noise coming out from outside, so we do apologise. But you are right. Edge and tackle seems to be the concisest picks we're going for. Look, obviously now we're moving into a brand new network. It's a brand new start for all of us. What's your, how are you feeling? How are you feeling with this brand new, with this new brand and this new project? Unless he's stuck. And
He might be stuck.
That's the worst facial expression you could do.
Okay, so just to pick up on something Nick said about, you asking about a potential trade back, I don't think that's out of the realms of possibility for tonight. I think we could potentially switch back, and we may have some interest in doing that. It's something that myself and Rob did last night on our mock draft, and we moved back and took Malachi Lawrence out of UCF. But I would say I think Buffalo are more likely to move back than us. They're sat at 26. That seems to be the prime real estate for any Ty Simpson trade. They don't want to be in the first round. They don't have a second round pick. If anybody is going down, it is either Buffalo or Seattle. I wouldn't totally rule us out, but I think when all's said and done, we will stick and pick a 31. and whether the player we want is on the board at that stage remains to be seen. I think the most chalky name is Max Hanajaw, the offensive tackle out of Arizona State. If he's not on the board, I think it's going to be an edge rusher. You're probably going to have to reach for that edge rusher as well, but I think that's what we're looking at when we pick it. Well, I think it's going to be probably 3.5 hours time.
Yeah, more than likely. I mean, obviously Cassius Howe is someone we don't really want. Probably Zion Young as well.
Well, I'm a fan of Zion personally, so I wouldn't be enraged if we went that way. I think you're right. If there's a tackle there available at 31, then it seems like there's no doubt that that's where we're going to go, whether it's Johannes or whether it's Logan. The only scenario that I do see is probably trade down is if all of those guys are off the board and we feel like we can move down and still pick up that edge rusher. If you've got a choice between Lawrence, between Armason and Thomas, between those guys. However, it wouldn't surprise me at all if we just stick at 31 and we go, do you know what? Let's get our guy and make sure that we get him rather than risking trading back into the middle of the second round and missing out on it because somebody else picks up. So we tackle edge.
And they could throw a curveball, right? We've seen like Daniel Jeremiah's mock yesterday and the last one that come out had us taking Chris Johnson, the corner from San Diego State. We've seen like some other links to linebackers, Caden McDonald, the defensive lineman. I personally don't think that's something I'd be interested in at that stage. I think for me, if Max Hanachaw's off the board, you take one of those edge defenders that's got a bit of juice, like a Malachi Lawrence, like an Mason Thomas, maybe a TJ Parker. I wouldn't want to get too cute with it and pick just for the sake of it.
There's always the argument of going best player available, isn't there? Whether that is a position that isn't on the list of needs, there's always that argument for just going with the best player available on the board at the time of the pick. But I think that we've all talked about edge and tackle being places that we really want to add some depth, add some juice. So those are the two positions. If it's either one of those, I'm going to come away pretty happy from this evening.
Unless the wide receiver KC was the block.
I mean, I threw that out, didn't I? When they spoke out as a league and Trace. I said someone could fall through maybe Casey second and someone could be laughed in my face.
I don't think it's out of the realms. I think he's probably gone by the time we pick. One name though that I have heard a little bit of smoke about is the tight end from Vanderbilt, Eli Stowers, who, I mean, I'm not massively keen on Eli Stowers. The guy's a jumbo slot receiver. He's not a tight end, and I think a lot of teams have him as a wide receiver on their board. Now, Thomas Brown, the Patriots passing game coordinator and tight ends coach, apparently spent a lot of time with him in the last couple of weeks, coaching him. So that wouldn't shock me if that's a real left field curveball when it's Stowers. But if he's coming in, he's not playing tight end. He's playing that jumbo slot role, and you're going to have Brown and Dubs on the outside.
Yeah, I'll happily go out on a limb, and Cassius Howard is my defensive buster of the draft that I'm predicting. I'll go ahead and say Eli Stowers is that one.
What do you make of Eli Stowers, Nick? Could potentially come up into the first round. Do you see any possibility of that even happening?
He's not my favourite tight end on the board. But I think the fact that as a former QB, he's got an advantage over other tight ends. Further back, if I'm picking a tight end and I'm looking further back, as I said this week, Jack Endries is somebody that I like. But we'll just have to see how it goes. Ultimately, every pick that's made affects everybody, because there's picks that you have to react to. There's picks that throw a whole spanner in the works. So I think once it's easy to look into the first round, but once you get into that second round, the possibilities become really hard to predict. So I think tomorrow may be quite an interesting draft.
Personally, as a Ravens, I
just want to raise an interesting point. I can hear stuff going on outside, and there's a guy on stage right now here that is basically saying that it would be boring and wrong for the Ravens to draft Ioane at 14 overall, and saying that Like, you don't want to draft a guard that high, and that's nonsense. He's the most squeaky clean prospect in the draft. A couple of the Ravens guys are on a different wavelength with that, but I don't know. Genuinely don't know what that guy's on about. But there we go. It's all subjective. It's all opinions. But yeah, it's interesting to see how people are feeling here tonight. Oh, have we got a guest?
We've got Tom outside. I'll see if I can let him in.
The boss man himself.
Are you coming in here and say hello?
Speaking of the Ravens,
Right.
Tom, come and put yourself next to me.
Wait,
I've got to ask you a question.
Just been having murder out there with Sam about.
So Tom from Ravens Across the Pond,
Boss man.
we've just been listening to one of your mates out there talking about Vega Ioane and how it would be a mistake and boring to draft him at number 14 overall. I don't agree with that. I think he's squeaky clean and gives you a huge upgrade at guard. What are you saying?
I just can't put any value on drafting a guard at 40. I think you look at what we've just been through with like Tyler Lindenbaum and gave up a first round pick for him. He don't take up his 50-year option 2 years ago. He's lost him in free agency. He's gone to the Raiders. I think you look at that first round. There's talent there. I think if you get to 14 where the Ravens are at, trade out of the first round if you need to. I think you look at the talent from pick 20 to 32 is second round, like A+ talent. The talent in 2027, them last 12 picks in the first round don't even make the third round in 27. That's the debate that we have out there. I'd like to see the Ravens be ambitious. Like, I think when you look at this first round, it all comes down to where's Sonny Styles going to land, where's Jeremiah Love going to land, is Ruben Bain going to slide? If Ruben Bain slides, and
I don't think he gets past 6.
But this is the thing, if Ruben Bain slides and he gets to 12, I won't chase him into the needy sheet. It's going to take a lot of capital to get up there, but you've seen that we're willing to give up a lot of draft capital to get up there for Matt Crosby. We've got five fifth-round picks this year. We've got a first-round pick next year. You know, it's not a given to say that under a rookie manager's first year that the Ravens are going to make the playoffs this year. So you just got to look at it and try and evaluate what you've got on the board. I think the Ravens do need to move away from the best player available.
Sadiq's been linked as well. So with likely going, that's probably a feasible option for you.
Everyone's been waiting for a likely breakout season.
I think ideally at 14, that high up in the draft, you want to have some kind of impact player at a really premium position. So whether that's pass catcher, normally wide receiver, but Kenyon Sadiq is a tight end, or pass rusher. You know, obviously there was the Max Crosby trade earlier on in the off-season that didn't go through, but there was talks about you guys potentially adding Crosby through trade and still adding Hendrickson as well, and really upgrading with 2 guys. So maybe now there's a little bit of a pivot to go. We signed Hendrickson in free agency. Do we now look to add a pass rusher in the draft, whether it's Bain if he slips? But you're going to have guys like King Messidor, TJ Parker, who are going to be well available at 14 overall. And, you know, when it comes to the guard position, there's probably a bit more opportunity to add someone late, you know, in the second round. Like Duncan, you know,
I just look at pick 14 and I'm thinking if you are drafting a guard at pick 14, there's something fundamentally wrong with your organisation at this moment in time. Where the Ravens are and at this moment in time, I just think it's not something you want to be doing. I've got a sneaky feeling that Ruben Bain and what's come out about look at last year, the Ravens took Mike Green in the second round. He was in all consensus first round pick until all the allegations came out about him. Like all them allegations, there's no. It never even made his call to even get a charge. He ends up going in the second round. All right, his rookie year went great, but I just think you look at it and go, Ruben Bain, if it slides down and you say if he gets to 11, 12, you'd be aggressive and take him. But as I said to you earlier on, Kieran, I think it just depends on. I think them first 5-6 picks on this year's draft dictate the rest of it. Like more than any other draft in a long time. Like there's people out there saying about like Mendoza and like Tyson and all that.
He's 14 in that division, right?
On what I've seen from Mendoza, but I put him above Josh Rosen on where he was drafted. I just think it's where it is. So you put Mendoza in 2027. I don't think he's a top 64 draft pick.
I'm not as high on Mendoza as a lot of the other guys. I mean, we did like a comparison conversation with our quarterbacks last few weeks ago. And named Joe Burrow came up. I went with Kirk Cousins. Now maybe that's a little bit harsh. Maybe he's a little bit closer to Matt Ryan in terms of what I expect him to be, but I don't think he's quite in that same bracket. So, you know, but you're absolutely right in terms of the first 10 picks to take in the first 10. How many offensive linemen go in the top 10 to see how many defensive players are going to be available? You know? I think it's going to be really interesting to see who goes well.
I think it's going to be quite a few. I think it's going to be a big run on offensive linemen. I think it's not just the tackles. Like I think we talked about Ioane. I wouldn't be shocked if Pregnon won in the first round. Let's talk about Bazontis. Like there's a lot of offensive linemen that could go in round one. So it's really, really hard to say. But I get what you're saying, because if you're sat there at 14 and someone's fell out the top 10, like a Caleb Downs or Ruben Bain, you almost have to like revert everything that you've been planning to do and potentially switch at the last second. So
I think I got a lot of franchises. The Ravens is always drafted the best player available, and sometimes you end out, sometimes you come back and bite us on the arse. And we've drafted players based on athletic ability. And Dafe Owake, for example, drafted him. Obviously, come into the draft off the back of an injury, and we drafted him. And it hasn't worked out for him. Obviously, we changed him to Chargers last year, and he's been another great season. But I just think for the Ravens now and Eric DeCosta, I think what people need to realise is with the Ravens, and you fans might hate it because I know how much you love Drake May. Lamar Jackson's the best quarterback in the league. He's 29 now. I think the Ravens trying to make a trade for Matt Crosby with giving up the next 2 years picks to me signified the Ravens saying, I'm going, we've only got 2 years here with Lamar Jackson. We need to get him someone to sign him over the line. So I look now and go, they've set the stall out here, so you've got to try and, you need to put talent around as quick as possible. The players can make an impact. Not athletic capability. I want to see players do it. And for me, as much as I love seeing Ione this year in college football at Penn State, for me, a lot of it, it's just slides so much the fact that they're not in a division. It's just that competitiveness you don't see, and I know there's been players that have come out of college that haven't played competitive games as much. But I just don't like it. I just drafted a guard at 14 an organisation, whether it was the Pats or Ravens where we are now. I just don't think you can do it.
Someone like Kim Messidor might make a lot of sense at 14. He's a 25-year-old guy with a lot of experience in college. We're talking about players who can come in and make that immediate impact. You know, thinking about the amount of time that Lamar has left. Someone like Messidor is probably one of the most NFL-ready prospects outside the top 10. And that's a pretty cool.
Is Messidor one of those ones where you look at, like, everyone talks about Mendoza in the Indiana State Hoosiers this year. They've been built for the last 2-3 years because of the head coach, and you can work the college system and get these players that'll be a freshman with a red shirt. And, you know, in Indiana, 95% of their team this year are 25-year-old grown adults, and you're like, I just think it's so difficult. Genuinely, I think Mendoza goes one. And I feel for him. Even though I don't rate him as much as people that have got him slated to go on and be. I think I've got a sneaky suspicion that John Harbaugh goes against everything he knows, and I think if Jeremiah Love is there at 5, I think Jeremiah Love at 5 trades up from 10. pick 6 or 7 particularly styles.
London, and I don't see anything else
Interesting. That's interesting because the Giants have already got Cam Scattergood as their main
Hell of a 1-2 punch.
And now obviously he may only have 3 years left in the NFL due to he wants to ram his head into that could be detrimental.
You can also look at it and go, the John Harbaugh pick at 5 is Sonny Styles. But if Jeremiah Love's still there, you're talking about best player available that John Harbaugh has always done, and the journey the Giants are going to go on. We'll take Jeremiah Love. Does he go with 3? Does he?
I'm not sure if both of them will still be there at 5. I get the feeling that either Sonny Styles or Jeremiah Love will be done by 4, and the Giants will have the 3 guys left over.
Jeremiah Love for me is more like a Tennessee level, if anything. It would be sad to see, but they don't really have a conventional running back right now.
But I say it's sad to see that you look at the possibility of you do their calls back in Cam Ward, and then in the backfield, Jeremiah Love is your RB1. You're thinking.
Right, everybody wants their 3 packs. Paul only queue the Paddy Sports Book.
Moving swiftly a little bit, obviously we talk about the draft. The reason why we're here is obviously the Paddy Sports Book here at Hippodrome Arena in Leicester Square in London. We've now moved over to be going on to a brand new banner, a brand new network, and when you pitched the idea to us, it felt like, this felt very ambitious. It's going to be ambitious.
You're an Arsenal fan, aren't you? An ambition for the last 20 years.
Yeah, thanks for that. But no, we'll just say from everyone here, and obviously from Nick back in Manchester, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. It's an absolute honour to.
Don't know whether Nick's listening in. Didn't know he was a man. Is he shitty? Is he Bluebird? You saw me standing alone. Have a toffee, Nick, so we'll have it. I'm not bothered. Let's bottle them Arsenal tears together, Thanks for having me on. Enjoy the rest of your night, gents. Take it easy. See you later. Thank you very much. Cheers, mate. Carl. See you later, mate.
Right, sweet. We probably should wrap up there because we actually have a draft party to get back to.
So Mike Vrabel has made a statement while you've been talking. Mike Vrabel has made a statement basically saying that in no uncertain terms he's really sorry he got caught and he'll try to not do that again. He's basically said that he said that it's because he made this statement like 20 minutes ago. And it's just posted on NFL Network, and he's just said that basically he hasn't lived up to the standard that he sets, and that he will do better, and he will continue to work hard to be the person that he's expected from as part of the organization, as part of his family, and as part of a coach to a group of men. So yeah. That was just posted while you guys were talking there. So yeah, I mean, it's a new time for us in the podcast, and it's good to be part of a team that I enjoy.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%. I'm sure we'll talk more about the Mike Vrabel situation in the next few days.
Probably tomorrow. Probably tomorrow.
Yeah, the live is something we need to maybe dig in more to. We'll speak a little bit about it. But yeah, tonight's all about the draft. We'll find out in 3 hours' time who we're taking and whether we're trading out in the first round. It's going to be a late night, but it's really good. Also, it's very difficult to hear, Nick. We're getting very sort of bits and pieces.
Give us one name. For 31 overall.
I want to see Maxi in actual. I want to see that guy.
Yeah.
I'm going to go. I'll give some variation. Now I'll go with my guy Zion Young.
Disgusting. I think if Big Max is on the board, I think he's the pick. If he's not, then I think you have to take one of those edge rushers that's not Zion Young or Patrick Sal. I think, based on what me and you said last night, highest upside is Malachi Lawrence, but I'm also would be too disappointed with our Mason Thomas.
I'm going to say if Max is off the board, if Max is there, 31 to take him. If not, I'm going to go TJ Parker.
The consensus pick for me will probably be Maxi Iheanacho, the offensive tackle out of Arizona State. But, and this is me being a bit greedy here, if he does fall to 31, I'm running the card in for Casey Concepcion. So
there we go.
We've all got a little blend of different thoughts, but I think we could probably have a guess of where it's going to be. It all depends because we can do so many mock drafts all we want, and the trades. There's also going to be trades up and trades down as well. We've got no idea what the other 31 teams are going to do, and that's what makes the draft so. It makes it so enthralling and so tense at the same time. It's like you expect these players to be, oh, they're gone. If they're still falling, it's like, why are they still falling? You always have like 4 or 5 players that are in the first round, and they just fall off the board completely.
And undoubtedly, there will be at least maybe 3 or 4 names tonight that go in the first round that we did not think would go in the first round. It's always the case. The biggest name from a couple of years ago, Jack Campbell, the linebacker out of Iowa, that went to the Lions at like number whatever it was overall with the teams. Nobody had Campbell going in round 1. There will be a handful of guys tonight that will go in the first round, and there'll be a handful of guys that you expected to go in the first round that will fall to the second.
Can't wait to see. It's been a great evening so far. Like, it's amazing to be around you guys. So, yeah, really enjoyed that. And can't wait for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, as I was mentioning before, I just wanted to thank each individual one by one, because I think as we move and transition onto a different network, and we'll still be the same business, guys, podding week in, week out, but without the work that you guys put in day in, day out, week in, week out, it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be what it is to what you guys built that side. From me to you lot,
as we said on social media, at Pat's ATP with this new brand, your identity, the same Patriots passion. That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Nick, you got any last words? Apart from fuck the trains?
No, other than I hate the British transport system, no, not at all.
We can all agree on that. Even if we can't agree on 31 overall, we can all agree that the England's trains don't work.
Yeah, having travelled to quite a few countries around the world to see how other countries operate with their public transport network is absolute night and day. The UK is an absolute shambles. Nick, obviously, we feel really sorry for you. We're gutted you're not here. And yeah, we've obviously had our fair share of disruption today as well. And to the point where when we go back to our accommodation later, we might have to swallow an £80 Uber fee to get back to the apartment because they've all whacked their prices up because there's no trains.
It would have been easier to attend the draft event in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, genuinely at this rate. But there we go. There we go.
Do you want to be surrounded by Yinzes though? Right. On that note, we're going to get on out of here. Nick, thank you for jumping on, mate. And listen, I will see you. I'm sure a few others will jump on as well tomorrow night for round 2 of the draft. So round 2, round 3 of day 2. So join us for tomorrow night around about midnight again when we go live, ready for the draft. Hopefully we see some rather good picks. Let's say another edge, tight end, whatever the situation will be. But right now we're getting on out of here because the draft literally starts in 10 minutes time.
I know, we need to get some free bets on the courtesy of Paddy Power.
Yeah.
Gamble responsibly.
Of our sponsors of Paddy Harrow and obviously StackBet, please gamble fucking responsibly. That's all I'll say.
Over 18s only.
And over 18s only.
Yeah.
And please make sure.
Is that the event of the podcast?
Debatable.
Let's just coincide with everything, right? Okay. We're going out of it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you smash the like button. Please make sure you spike the subscribe button. Tell all your friends. You follow us on all our social media platforms. Make sure you follow the podcast on Spotify and Apple.
At Pat's ATP, new handle.
At Pat's ATP, brand new handle as well. And thank you so much for joining us on this rather late night stream. But listen, we're here and we're ready to go. Pats across the pond. Let's fucking go. And out.